My name is Ondivo or Picha Marangi. All these two names I was given at Kibera by my friends. And the reason why I was given this name is because Ondivo was given to me because I'm a photographer. And because my friend used to call me every day to come and tell their stories, I used not to waste time. I just appear as up. And Picha Marangi was given to me by also a friend from Kibera, meaning picture with color, pictures with color, because of my dress code and the pictures that I used to take of myself. When I post them on Facebook, they are all vibrant. So that's why I was given the name Picha Marangi. Okay, my childhood lifestyle has been a challenge. It hasn't been that easy because being born and raised in Kibera, in the early 90s when I was being born in Kibera, like life was still backward. And a lot of stuff were not there. There was no like electricity like we're having at the moment. Water was a problem. Even sanitation was a problem. So the life in Kibera was very, very difficult. At times you'd go hungry. You'd only survive on 1 meal a day. And this made us like find other ways of living in Kibera. Like for me, for instance, so we used to go to the neighboring estates like Ayani Estate, for instance, or Olympic Estate, where we could ask for some minor jobs of pouring litter or even fetching water for these guys. And then these guys will give us the remaining food. And this remaining food, that's what we used to eat, to like just make our day complete, you know, because your parent was just able to provide you with 1 meal a day. So the life there was very, very difficult. And because of also a lot of peer influences around, by that time, early 90s, there was a lot of crime and drug usage in Kibera. And escaping that life was very difficult. So you find when you're growing up, you'll find yourself using this stuff, you know. And when you don't use them, the other guys will be seeing you like you're a weaker person in the community. So you end up pleasing the elderly people by using all this stuff. So it was a very difficult life living in Kibera. Yeah. The greatest challenge that I faced was being raised with one parent. After my dad had died in 2014, like I was left with my mom, and my mom was not like having a job to do. She was selling liquor, the local changa, to the community people. And this was a very big challenge, simply because every day the police would visit our home, and when they come there, they don't want to know who is who. It's either you give them their tax, or they beat everyone and go with everyone except the small kids we were there. So you find at times your mom has been taken, and when they go to the cell, maybe the judge will take them to prison for even 1 or 2 weeks, you know. So you are remaining alone in the community. No one is there to take care of you. And since by then I was like the eldest kid in our family by then, because my elder brothers had left, they had moved to their various homes. So I was the only one left to take care of my twin brother and my younger sisters. So you find it was a difficult time for me, because I have to go to school, and then when you come back, because these other siblings are younger, you have to clean their clothes and at times cook for them. So your brothers just bring you money that maybe they have hustled out there, then your responsibility is now to be like their parent. So that was a very difficult life for me as a kid growing up in Kibera during those days. So my life changed twice, both negatively and positively. When my dad passed, my life changed. Because, you know, since he was the breadwinner to our family, like now my mom had to take full responsibility of taking care of all of us, you know. So it was like stuff that used to get, now they had to be cut down. You know, if you had to eat mandazi, one mandazi a person, now this mandazi had to be split among 2 of you. So that's a big challenge. That's a big change in life, you know. So you feel like, okay, there's something I'm lacking. And even the school that you used to go, you have to now change to a different school. Because I was taken to a sponsor school where I was being sponsored. I was being sponsored to go to school. But before, my dad used to pay all these fees, you know. So after he died, like everything started changing. And when you go to a sponsor school, there's a lot of rules that you have to go, you know. So through this, at times maybe the teachers need fee for the exam, because you don't get sponsored everything. There are small fees that are needed so that your school can proceed. So you find at times your mom doesn't have that cash, and the only money that he has is for your food. So you end up maybe having problems with the teachers, you know, because our teachers by then didn't understand, like they didn't understand as like the way the teachers, the current teachers are understanding the kids now, you know, because the life has really changed. So you are being sent out of school, and not like politely, you are sent out of school like rudely. So this makes you feel like, okay, everybody is an enemy in your community. So, and again, when my life changed in a positive way was when I joined the film school. That was in 2011, and this is after I tried applying for the same film school thrice. You know, I went for the first day, and for the second time, and for the third time. That's when I got the opportunity. All this first and the second chance, I was being told that you're not able to join the school. So after I joined the Kibera TV, it was a project at the Kibera Film School by then, and the school coordinator plus the owner of the school realized that I had a potential in whatever I'm doing. So they had to give me a chance to apply for the film school. So I applied, and fortunately I got the opportunity. So this is when my life started changing. Because when I was in the film school, I managed to do a couple of short films, which were school projects. And one of the short films that I did was about my life. It was like a story about my life when I was a kid. So this film, it was called Torture. Torture managed to attain like awards at the Filamu Film Festival. And this really motivated me. I realized, okay, I have power. There's a potential that I have in me, despite all these challenges that I've been facing, you know. So that really changed my life, and my passion in film grew up like big. Most of us don't understand what leadership is. They believe leadership is about somebody who has money, who can like run the community, you know, is able to convince everyone and even give you some stipend. But leadership is how you can control the people who are under you. So I believe that I've been a leader, despite maybe others would have seen that. I've been a leader since when I was left with my siblings, when my mom was taken to prison after she was arrested for selling changa. I became a leader of my younger siblings. And also in the community, there are so many youth that are looking up to me. You know, after I became a photographer, like a well-known photographer from Kibera. A lot of youths have been following up my work on Facebook, going to Ondivo photography page, and they're seeing the progress that I make every day, the type of pictures that I do every day. And this has really motivated them into this career. So they always come to me and ask me, okay, how do we do this? Can we join your group? You know, unfortunately, it's difficult to take a lot of people into your project simply because you don't have like the facilities to manage this project. So you end up maybe just working with a few that you can manage, you know, because when at times I get a photography project, I'll just like collect like 3 or 4 youth and give them, each and every one of them, a role to play. And through this role, they're able to learn something, you know. And this youth, what I believe is that from a conversation that I had earlier with a friend, is that negativity, like anything negative, is a power. And this power, it drives people to a wrong direction. So if you see somebody is trying to change this power, to get somebody from this power to a different direction without applying another power that is positive so that he can change his life, it will be difficult. This guy will still be driven back to the negative power. So if you want to get somebody from negative thing, that you have to get something positive for him to do or them to do, so that it's easier for them to like reform completely. So through this, it has made me like talk to a lot of youths, like communicate with them through even photography, despite me just going to speak to them like randomly in the street. I take pictures. There's a time I was doing a project about drug usage, you know, And this project like really touched a lot of youth in Kibera. You find like a youth will spend 50 shillings in buying miraa, and yet he will be begging somebody for 5 shillings to buy sukuma wiki. Why can't you convert this 50 into 5 shillings and spend these 5 shillings for another 5 days, for 10 days, sorry. So through all these stories that were in my images, a lot of youth were really captured, and some of them like reduced or even stopped using the drugs that they were using. And through that, I feel like that leadership is now working. And again, after I was featured in a couple of stories, like big stories, like there's a time I was featured as Picha Marangi on BBC Story article. This is an opportunity that a lot of people want to be in, but they are not able to find it. But from Kibera, somewhere people don't even know about, I was given the opportunity to be there and to present the kind of dressing code that Kibera people have. Was a big opportunity for me. I've always been an artist, because when I grew up, my elder brother was a sketch artist. So he used to draw like a lot of stuff, like those stuff really motivated me a lot. And so he even showed me how to use a pencil on drawing. But later on, because our parents during those days didn't believe that art can be a job, so they like always asked me, what do you want to be? So you have to just lie to them, I want to be a doctor, just to please them. But deep inside you, you know what you want to be. Because if you tell them I want to be an artist or I want to sing, then my friend, you'll be beaten, or even be chased, or even everybody will be hating you. So you have just to please your parents. So I've always been wanting to be an artist. Apart from the drawing art, I also have been wanting to be an actor. And through that, I've always been watching, before I joined the film school, I've always been watching movies and seeing the way this stuff are being done. They really caught my attention a lot. So I think art was in me since I was a kid, yeah. Art has changed my life, because for me to be where I am at the moment, it's because of art. If I was doing other stuff, maybe I could have been still in Kibera. Maybe I could have been a drug addict, even a thief down there, even in prison somewhere. But through art, I believe that it has changed my mind. It has made my mind to think differently. At least it makes me interact with people outside here. People that if I was doing something different, I wouldn't have gotten an opportunity to interact with them, And again, art has changed my community in a way that there are so many youth that are into art that are making a living. They are designers, they are painters, they are graffiti artists. And that has really changed the face of Kibera, Because before guys realized that art could have been a source of income, we used to do bad stuff. Like if you see, there's a time when we see a muzungu in Kibera, we believe this is money. Maybe this is an investor, somebody who just came to maybe scout for a place and bring up an art, like an art premise, maybe somewhere in Kibera. But as we see that muzungu as, okay, this is cash. Let's go mug him, get money, and But at the end of the day, after this, like interacting with people outside there and sharing with other people who haven't maybe reached your level, it's easier for them to see, okay, but then this guy is making a progress. So it means that these guys, we should not see them as money. We should welcome them here, let them invest, then we use the facilities that they've brought here. And through that, now the face of Kibera, the face of Kibera has really changed. Now, as I'm talking, if you go to Kibera, you can walk the way you want. You can remove your phone and take selfies. No one will bother you. And if somebody tries to attack you, the same Kibera people will protect you. And that's the power that I believe art has really changed. Because the youth are the people who are into crime and into drugs. And now they're into art, most of them have reformed. What I believe, despite you having passion, consistency matters. We are in a digital world. A world where there is social media, where you can do your stuff and go and share them there. You never know who is watching your art piece, Because I've done a lot of stuff on pro bonos, and this stuff have been shared and be like they have touched big companies. Like the drug story that I was telling you, it really touched how do you call it, the Nakada. If I was not doing that, then you see, if I couldn't have posted my story on social media, it means that they couldn't have known that I'm doing that. You know, there's a time also I took a picture with only my phone of my glasses. It was like drizzled on, and Techno called me, and they gave me a Phantom 8 phone. You see, that's really changed people's mindset that, okay, we don't need that equipment first for you to do a good job. First of all, you have to be creative. You must persist on whatever you're doing and use the little resource that you have to do a bigger thing that will make that guy who has that bigger thing that you required to bring it to you. I've been doing consistent good work every day. And the people who are following my work every day inspires me. They compliment my work every day. And when somebody compliments your work, both negatively and positively, there's a negative way somebody can compliment your work and maybe you see that negative thing that is saying in your work, you know, and you go and work on it. Tomorrow when you like you share what you did, it will be like guys will really like compliment it on it more. That means that, okay, that guy has changed your style. And through doing every day and consisting on doing like a positive job every day, that makes me, it motivates me a lot, and I feel motivated when I do good stuff every day. And another thing that motivates me every day is the people that are following me. They are the reason as to why I kept on doing whatever I'm doing. What inspires me is seeing somebody that was not having something to do now has something to do. Like getting a youth that was just idling and thinking on doing negative things in the society and then changing their lives to be somebody else, it inspires me. Seeing somebody that you've trained like progressing every day, that inspires me. You know, seeing somebody doing something that is related to your work inspires me every day, and that is what I see every day. There are so many people who do a lot of stuff that are related to what I do. You know, others will see like, oh, this guy is copying and pasting my work, you know, and they'll start feeling envy on the other guy. For me, that's an inspiration because it means that I'm a brand, I'm a trademark to this guy, you know. So that makes me feel like, okay, there's something that I'm doing that is changing somebody's mind and lifestyle out here. Social media is the way that I use to give people my art to view. I use a lot of social media. I'm very active on Facebook and on Instagram mostly, because most of my art are there. If you go to Picha Marangi page, you'll see my art on fashion. And if you go to Ondivo photography page, you'll see my art on cinematography and both photography. And the type of photography that I do is about like the positive things that are happening in Kibera, and more so fashion and design, you know. So when I like before I started doing this, a lot of people like used to see like negative stories about Kibera, and that's what Google knows about Kibera. It knows Kibera is a bad place with drugs, people suffering, you know, no sanitation. But there are other good things that are happening in Kibera. There are people who are well dressed in Kibera, and that really captured my attention. There are nice food in Kibera. There are beautiful ladies in Kibera. Who has ever taken this like an initiative of capturing that moment and showing it to the world? No one, because they believe the bad story sells more. For me, good story inspires more. So that's why I decided to do the positive and give it to the world, so that they can see a better side of Kibera and their mindset will be changed. Yeah, I find my happiness in God. I'm a believer. You know, at the end of the day, I believe that there is God, and through the change that is made in my life since when I was a kid, who could not be able to like get something to eat a day at times, to somebody who is able to now buy himself like chapati when he wants. That makes me happy every day. Because you know, when I was growing, chapati was like, hey, a dream. You wait on Christmas Day for you to eat chapati, or even a festival, or even wagenis have come to your place. That's when chapati. At times you are seeing a mgeni at your place and thinking that chapati is going to be left. Kumbe, they are the wagenis that will eat and carry. So you end up eating the sukuma wiki. You see? But now, if I want chapati, I'll go to my pocket and get the 10 shillings that I have and buy chapati. You know, that really makes me feel like, okay, yeah. What I would like to tell any youth that is watching this show today is that if you don't spend your time well as a youth, remember you'll be a servant to somebody. And when you're a servant to someone, it means that he or she will be controlling every bit and every part of your life. So it's either you change your life today and be a leader tomorrow, you know, be your own boss tomorrow. Leave alone like looking for employment jobs. There are so many ways. You go on YouTube and look at how other youths are working outside there. I believe there's something that is out there for you that you need to do, and stop sitting down there.